Yo, it's Elliot with Yo Elliot. You got strength questions, and I've got your answers.
Yo, Elliot.
Today we got a question from Sure Dog, who lives in Ontario, Canada. Sure Dog wants to know, Yo Elliot, how do I find out how long I should rest in between my sets? Some people say 2 to 3 minutes for upper body, but that's too damn long for me. I'm usually ready to go within 90 to 105 seconds after that. And what the hell should I do? So, really good question. Here's the thing, completely out of context. You're asking me how long you need to rest in between sets, but you've given me no other information about your training program or goals. So what I'm going to do is lay out the entire spectrum of training variables, and training goals so that we can pinpoint where your rest intervals need to be. This is a template that everyone can use in order to achieve any fitness goal that you have. So I'm going to show you how to use the different exercises to manipulate time under tension, tempo, intensity, reps, sets, and rest intervals so that you can design exercise programs like I do and like I teach my Strengthology students in our course. So let's start out with power, then we'll move to strength. So power is your ability to be freaking explosive. Throw shit, jump high, sprint, box jumps. Strength is your ability to move heavy shit. That's it. Hypertrophy is your ability to build tissue, to get bigger muscles. That's the only purpose here. And endurance, which is to endure. Now, if you are going to build power, if you're looking to build power, my friend, then the parameters that you would use, or the exercise you begin with, is something like a box jump or like a medicine ball throw. Time under tension for developing power is a split second. So if you've ever done a max effort box jump or a vertical jump, you know that you're not taking your time. It's bang, go, and you're out. Same thing with like a 40-yard dash. The clock goes, the bell goes off, and you're out. So there's very little time under tension. You're not like doing the tempo thing like super slow people do, or some of the weirdos that build strength in other ways do. What you're going to do also with regard to tempo is it's going to be fast. So it's get out and get done with the exercise. Intensity, 100%. You give everything and your all in order to do a max effort box jump. Reps, you're going to do one. With power exercises, you don't consider multiple reps within each set. You're doing it and then you're done. If you're doing anything more than a single rep, then it's not really power in its purest sense. You're doing more of an endurance or hypertrophy type program where you happen to be using power exercises. Sets are going to be really high. You're going to notice there's an inverse relationship between sets and reps. The lower the reps, the more sets you're going to end up having, and vice versa. Sets, 4 to 8 sets. So you're not necessarily going to just do one box jump for most programs, and then just that's it for the end of your workout. You're going to do that 4, 8, maybe more times depending on your goals. Rest intervals, to answer your question, 3 to 5 minutes. So you mentioned doing bench presses or upper body. Unless you're throwing something, you're not eliciting a power response from your body, so you don't need to rest 3 to 5 minutes or longer. Really, probably won't make much sense. And it really also depends on how efficient your nervous system is. The more efficient your nervous system is, the longer your rest is going to have to be, even when you're strength training. The more basic or the more beginner your nervous system is, the quicker you can get into your next set after performing even a very, very heavy set, something between strength and power. So you're saying that you don't need that much time. It may be that you're still not eliciting or stimulating that much of your nervous system or that many motor units in order to need that type of rest. You're not taxing your nervous system, your central nervous system, to any great degree, even though it relatively is heavy weight that you may be using. So you may be actually doing something in this range, but the rest intervals are shorter. So basically I'm saying you got to pay attention. Strength. We're going to use a powerlifting deadlift for our example. And when you do a deadlift, like just imagine picking up a heavy ass deadlift off the floor, it's going to take you a second, 2 seconds. If you're really grinding it out, maybe 3 seconds. That's your time under tension. Tempo is going to be what we call a 1-0-1. Basically, it's popping that sucker off the floor. You're not resting at the top, and then bring it back down. That's a 1-0-1 rest tempo. Intensity, 80 to 95%, maybe a little bit more. Reps, 1 to 3. You're not doing a shitload of reps when you're doing strength training. That's hypertrophy endurance training. 1 to 3 reps. Now your strength training, again, kind of high on the sets, 3 to 5 sets. Rest intervals, 2 to 4 minutes. You're going to rest. Again, it depends on how evolved your nervous system is. Hypertrophy, we're going to use the chest press as an example because it's one of those exercises that bodybuilders like to use. They like to sit on that machine and press away. They're going to do a time under tension of about 4 to 12 seconds depending on the tempo that they use. So what that's going to look like is if you've ever learned how to do exercises from like your general run-of-the-mill personal trainer who everything that they do is based on hypertrophy, it's going to look something like this. 3, 2, 1, pause. 3, 2, 1. And they're going to repeat that 3, 2, 1, pause for 1 second, 3, 2, 1 down with the concentric and eccentric portion of the exercise. And that adds up. So for example, that is a 6-7 second rep. It's a great way for building more muscular size or hypertrophy. 75% is going to be the intensity that you're using. You're not going to do a tempo that slow with 100% of your reps with your 1 rep max. Also, reps 6 to 12. That way you're also increasing time under tension because you have more reps per set. As you notice with the inverse relationship between the sets and the reps, you've got less sets, 2 to 3 sets. Bodybuilders usually don't do that much more than that when they're doing hypertrophy specific training. 60 to 90 seconds. Now you're talking a minute and a half most, because we want to maximize the time under tension when we're building muscle. We don't want too much downtime. We don't care how heavy the weight is. We just want to beat the crap out of the muscle. That's how bodybuilders get big. And then endurance, which most of you probably aren't that interested in, but that's your distance run. As far as time under tension, there really is none because you're just going. Tempo, really isn't any. You're just going. You're skipping rope or you're jogging. 50% is or lower is your intensity. 15 plus reps. You know, you can do 1,000 reps, and that's endurance training. 1 set, because you're not going to do like multiple 5Ks in a day. It's 1 freaking set. And rest interval, non-existent. So that's it, man. I hope that's helpful for you. This is it, folks. If you know this graph, if you know this chart, if you take this and write it down in your notebook, you can manipulate variables to design programs for absolutely any goal that you have or any goal that your clients have. We spend a lot of time with this with my students in Strengthology. This is the roots. This is the foundation through which I design all of my strength training programs. There you have it. I hope that's helpful for you. Next time you send me a question, give me the perspective. Wanting to know what rest interval, in absence of what your goals are and the other variables, makes no sense. Hopefully my language made sense to you, and I hope this helped you. See you next time. Yo, Elliot,